Cobra Kai. The first 2 seasons came out before I got into these video reviews, so I'll talk about all 3 right now. I love Fathom Event Screenings. That's a company which is always bringing back classics for a couple of days at a time in theaters, oftentimes for a movie's anniversary. In 2018, there were screenings of The Karate Kid, partly because there was an upcoming Blu-ray for the movie's 35th anniversary the following year, but more importantly, we're going to get a sneak preview of the new series Cobra Kai. There were the first 2 episodes shown along with the original Karate Kid, and I thought it was a great show. I stuck around, I watched it because it came for the movie. I paid for the whole thing anyway. The whole package with my theater ticket. But if someone had asked me in advance, I would have thought the series was just an attempt by Ralph Macchio and William Zabka to cash in on their brush with fame, since they had nothing better to do. However, I watched the series. It was great. A terrific continuation of what happened to Johnny and Daniel after the events of the first movie, how those set the course for the rest of their lives in a way. But also, we saw stories of their children. Well, Daniel's daughter, Johnny's biological son, who doesn't really acknowledge him as a father, and a kid who's become Johnny's surrogate son. Nothing feels rehashed from the original. All 3 kids' stories feel very organic and tie in perfectly the dad's stories. So I love the first 2 episodes, and I subscribed to YouTube Premium just to be able to watch the rest of the series. But I still didn't get around to it for months. Usually I'm in no rush for things like that. And even once I got around to it, I was going about the episodes in a leisurely pace. Great season though. I definitely came back for season 2. Kept my YouTube Premium subscription intact. Although, again, I waited until a while after season 2 launched to watch and went about it somewhat leisurely. Watching the episodes after I started. But it was a great series, The first season almost could have worked as a self-contained miniseries, but there was a cliffhanger thrown in at the end, which I didn't care about a ton, but knowing it was going to be season 2, I trusted it would be great. And sure enough, the reintroduction of John Kreese, played by Martin Kove, absolutely add dimension. And then the 3 main teenagers' struggles, the ones I mentioned, plus another key one introduced in the first season, nerdy kid whose life is completely transformed for better or for worse by karate. Johnny's style of karate. Season 2, all 4 of the key teenagers, plus from season 1, plus a new one introduced, Tori, plus Johnny and Daniel, all their stories evolved beautifully. I was very gripped the whole time, wondering what comes next. But again, just going about watching this show leisurely until it got to the finale. The darkest episode of television I have ever seen. Now, I rewatched the key scene, the climactic scene from that episode, just because I felt like I had to. And then for weeks I was just searching message boards, Reddit and whatever, trying to find what people had to say about it. I wanted to read discussions. There weren't that many because the show was just not getting a lot of eyeballs on YouTube Premium. guess YouTube got desperate enough that they were saying season 3 would be available to everyone on YouTube. You didn't have to be a premium subscriber. Yeah, I went ahead and canceled my premium membership, but then I guess YouTube just gave up, sold off the rights to Netflix, and then that was over a year later, and then suddenly the show was trending in a big way, posting huge numbers as far as most streamed shows, and everyone was talking about it, and I was thinking, oh yeah, well, you people are late to the party, but actually you had no idea what you were missing out on. I knew Netflix would make a season 3, but I know it was actually in production though, especially with the pandemic. So when a week and a half ago, I suddenly saw an advertisement that season 3 would be coming out January 1st. Well, I did 2 things I'd never done before. First of all, I made a point to watch a streaming show the very day it came out. I even checked, does the series come out midnight that day or later in the day? And then once I started watching, I just did not stop. I watched the entire season the very first day. Oh, and I'm glad I did. It's still, while nothing can quite top the power of that season 2 finale, season 3 is terrific, with all 5 of those main teens and and Daniel and Johnny, they all go on their individual journeys, and everything feels 100% organic, authentic to the characters. And John Kreese as the villain was clearly established as the villain. It essentially becomes a 3 sensei battle, but they even managed to humanize John through flashbacks. It helps show, no one is fully good or bad. There's a continuum. And it doesn't every time I want to praise a story for showing the good and bad sides of someone, I want to make clear it's not in this stupid way like the movie A Crash. So I'm doing something good, showing them something bad, and this place all the characters, good and bad moments, in some random order. But no one is fully good and no one's fully bad, and people also don't act good completely some of the time and bad completely the others. That just varies randomly. No, there's a continuum between good and bad. People move across it. Certain events can affect them, send them close to one side, and sometimes they might be so far to one side there's no really going back in the other direction. Or is there? There will always be to small degrees and maybe even to big degrees. Well, that's much I can say other than, yes, those 5 teens, the 3 senseis, they all have such compelling arcs and I'll say that Daniel's wife is another great character, as is the mother of one of the teenagers, and well, so many, and plus even supporting characters from season 2. Maybe they're all season 1, but I didn't even know. It's kind of the point, but they, Dimitri becomes a really great character now, someone I could see myself a lot of, and I'm really glad about something that happened to him late in the season. And some of the minor characters from before, Rocksteady, Bebop, those 2 short nerdy kids. Okay, the fact that I still know their names offhand says something, but they all managed to have individual memorable moments in season 3. And the show also did a great job cutting the fat out of all the characters who got as much screen time as she did the first 2 seasons. Aisha was by far the least memorable. I'm glad they wrote her out, before season 3 premiere. And same thing with Stingray, who provides some minor comic relief in season 2, but otherwise was a pretty pointless character. Very fantastic show. set up the conflict for season 4 perfectly. That's as much as I can say without spoiling anything, but as you've noticed, I really like the show. So if you want further thoughts, you can go to my written blog, autisticartcritic.com. Also follow us on Facebook, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Thank you.